South African technology company iPay operates as an online payment gateway for buyers and merchants via smart, mobile and desktop devices, and recently managed to secure over $1 million in funding. Joining us in studio now to tell us more about these operations and of course future growth prospects is Thomas Pays, founder of iPay. No pun intended there, is there?
No, none at all.
Thomas, let's get into the company and perhaps paint a picture as to how iPay works, because I think some viewers might be confused that it's like a mobile money system, but that's not the case.
It's actually not. It's, just think about it as an alternative way to actually pay to credit card. So what we've done is we've automated bank-to-bank payment in a way that you can actually pay EFT within 3 clicks. So we all know the cumbersome process of paying via EFT, which is logging into your online banking profile, loading the beneficiary, and going through all that process. So ultimately what iPay has been able to do is make the process a lot easier and allow you to do a payment within 15 seconds.
15 seconds is quite fast, but let's talk about the security aspect. A lot of people are quite concerned about transacting online given the security risks that are involved there. How do you mitigate against these risks?
So if you think about what we're doing, we basically end up being a layer between a consumer, the merchant and the bank. So we don't really try to avoid any of the current security systems are in place. When you talk about the actual credit card systems, there's compliance and regulation, which are basically PCI DSS compliant, and these are also some of the certifications that we basically made sure from a security and encryption perspective we're up to date with. So we don't store username, we don't store password, we don't store any sensitive data, so it actually makes us very safe in terms of environment.
On that note though, the market that you operate in is also quite competitive. What's the differentiator with iPay?
So we're very innovative, very disruptive, one of a kind in the market but also globally. So it has its pros and cons to be at the forefront of innovation. We try to compete in a market with credit card, but we're more cost effective than credit card, and we also a lot more user friendly. So ultimately what we do is we answer the needs that consumers are looking for, which is convenience.
And the dynamics, because naturally South Africa is quite a market which is oversaturated when it comes to banking accounts and even the usage of credit cards. Are you seeing more opportunities opening up across the continent and elsewhere?
So we're definitely looking at some of the African market as well as European market, with a target in the immediate future onto Nigeria. So I think if you look at the advantage about a product like iPay, ultimately what we do is we integrate bank and we automate bank-to-bank payment. So wherever there is banking infrastructure in any country around the world, we'll be able to integrate. So there's not really any barrier to entry in terms of growth and penetration.
Let's touch on the innovation that you mentioned and the disruption, clearly working in your favor because you managed to secure funding of over $1 million. Under $1 million. Well, maybe next one. Me saying it this way will hopefully source some other investors for you to keep on pumping some capital in your company. But talk to us about what this capital is going to be used for and actually where it was sourced from.
So we've been very fortunate to be approached by many VCs locally and angel investors. I think the challenging part for us was to actually make the decision about who was going to be the right partner.
Did you have to give up any equity for that?
We did have to, but it was very important. When you talk about a business like payment solution, what is very important is being able to access a network and also gain credibility and authority. So for us, it wasn't really just a matter of getting an investment from a financial perspective, but being able to have the right network and partners that basically were going to allow us to grow our business. With regard to what we're going to do with the funds, we're scaling our team pretty big and pretty quickly because we've got a very aggressive approach with wanting to grow in Africa and in Europe. So that's the first point of focus, which is growing our South African team.
Well, all the best in your endeavors, and we certainly hope that you continue to grow from strength to strength.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much to Thomas Pays, who's the founder of iPay.